Hey y'all, are you thinking about buying a Disney World annual pass? You've probably heard someone say if you're going twice, it's worth it. But is that actually true? Today we're going to do something I absolutely love. We're going to let the numbers decide if that's actually true. We'll figure out how many park days it takes for an annual pass to pay for itself, how Disney merchandise and dining discounts change that math, and the hidden savings that most people forget about. By the end of this episode, you'll know whether you're better off buying regular park tickets or joining the annual pass club. So let's crunch some Disney numbers. First, let's set the stage. Disney offers several annual passes, including like a Florida resident ones. But today we're going to focus on the Incredi-Pass, which is the one that's available to everyone, regardless of where you live. I come from the Northeast, so this is the only one that I can, and there's no blackout dates, so it's great. And at the time of this recording, the Incredi-Pass costs about $1,629 before taxes. And yes, that is a big number. It's easy to look at the price tag and immediately think there is no way that this is worth it. But remember, an annual pass isn't just the admission to the parks. It's also a collection of discounts and benefits that can save you money throughout the year and on each vacation. So let's start with the biggest expense, and probably what you're thinking you would have the annual pass for is your park tickets. So many people ask, how many days do I have to visit for an annual pass to make sense? Unfortunately, there's not one perfect answer because Disney uses a date-based ticket. So that means that tickets in September cost a lot less than they do, say, around Christmas time when it's the busiest. So the more days you buy, also, the cheaper the one-day ticket becomes. So let's talk about some realistic averages. A 5-day vacation often works out to be roughly $145 per park day. And then a 7-day trip, the cost starts to drop to $125 per park day. And if you're buying a 10-day ticket, then you're often just over $100 per park day. But I want to add the caveat that if you buy like a 10-day park ticket, you can't use those 10 days over the year. You have a certain amount of time within those 10, like maybe 10-day ticket gives you 20 days to use it within, something like that. So you have to use it within a set amount of time around your vacation time. So you wouldn't be able to use them later in the year if you had unused ones. So here's what it means for us. On 5-day vacation, regular tickets are almost always cheaper. 10-day vacation, still usually cheaper than buying an annual pass. But if you're visiting twice, let's say 2 5-day vacations, that's about 10 park days. And now we're getting close to the price of an annual pass. Once you reach 11 to 13 days in a 12-month period, the numbers start getting very interesting. This is the point where the annual pass competes with regular admission. But we're only getting started because the real magic is in the discounts. So if you're someone that loves to go to the Emporium and somehow leaves with Mickey ears, spirit jerseys, ornaments, popcorn bucket, and a coffee mug, don't worry, judgment-free zone. Annual pass holders receive 20% off of that merchandise. So let's look at a few examples. If you were to spend $200 on souvenirs, you save about $40. If you are spending $500, you're saving around $100. And spend $1,000 throughout the year, you're getting $200 back in your pocket. So now think about the families with matching shirts, Christmas decorations, backpacks, plushies, and collectibles. Those savings start to really add up. Now let's talk food. Many table service restaurants at Disney World and at Disney Springs offer annual pass holder discounts about 10%. Like right now it's summertime and you can get a lot more, some up to 40%, but the average year round is 10%. And not every restaurant participates, so always double check before your trip. But here's what these savings can look like. Spend $600 on eligible meals and you're saving about $60. Spend $1,000, you're saving around $100. Maybe not enough to justify an annual pass in itself, but remember, we're stacking savings at this point. Let's imagine a family takes 2 5-day Disney vacations without an annual pass. They spend $1,450 on park tickets. An annual pass costs $1,629. At first glance, the annual pass actually looks more expensive. But then they spend $750 on merchandise, and then That would save them roughly $150. And they spent $800 on eligible dining and another $80 saved. So now they saved about $230 through discounts. Suddenly, the annual pass isn't more expensive anymore. It actually was saving money. And we haven't even talked about parking and hotel discounts. There are a few extra benefits that don't always get included with break even calculations. But if you're driving to Disney, standard theme park parking is included with the annual pass. And Disney often has discounts for their hotels that are exclusive to pass holders. I would say last 2 years I've gone and I've had the annual pass, I've gotten 30% discount on my room, which is great. So that's saving hundreds of dollars on a single vacation. And there's also little perks that don't have a dollar value attached. We're talking exclusive merchandise, festival magnets, and the magnets are usually, you can get free pass holder magnets too. There's special lounges during some events. And perhaps my favorite, it's freedom. When you have an annual pass, you're not trying to squeeze in every possible minute of a park day because you feel like you need to get your money's worth. You can pop into Epcot for dinner, ride one attraction, watch the fireworks, and head back to the resort. The flexibility completely changes how people experience Disney. So, when does an annual pass make financial sense? Here's my rule of thumb. If you're only taking one vacation a year, regular park tickets will probably be a much better value. If you're planning around a dozen park days within a year, start doing the math. And if you're someone who shops for souvenirs, enjoys table service restaurants, takes advantage of pass holder hotel discounts, or drives to the parks, your break even point may arrive sooner than you think. The biggest mistake people make is looking at ticket price only, and that's not getting you there. The smartest Disney budgeters look at the entire vacation because the best way to save money at Disney isn't always spending less. Sometimes it's just spending smarter. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe to our Mouse Ears and Magical Chats so that you don't miss any more Mouse Money Minutes. And if you're wondering whether an annual pass makes sense for your vacation, leave your trip details in the comments and tell how many days you're visiting, how many trips you're planning, and whether you're more of a souvenir collector or a minimalist. I'd be happy to run the numbers. Until next time, save more, stress less, and experience the magic.